A small goat named Will gets a once-in-a-lifetime shot to join the pros and play rollerball. Ridiculed by his teammates because of his size, Will becomes determined to revolutionize the sport and prove that small can ball. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the movie Go, and this is my non-spoiler review. And is it worth watching? Well, we're going to talk about it today, so remember to like the video, comment down below, tell me your thoughts if you've seen it or if you're going to, and as always, if you haven't, remember to subscribe. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like the Go. So right off the bat, the movie Go is done by Sony Animation, and I think that's the first thing I really have to highlight because, like, they are the same people that have done K-Pop Demon Hunters and Into the Spider-Verse. And the minute you're seated for this film, you know you're in for a Sony Animation movie because the animation for the Go is just phenomenal. So our main character, who is the Go, is Will, who is actually voiced by Caleb McLaughlin, who is from Stranger Things, and I will say, phenomenal job right off the bat. Like, the minute he starts talking, you get introduced to this character, you're really enthralled. Like, I'm like, okay, perfect. We are ready to go. And so the story starts off that we're seeing Will, his character, obviously grow up being inspired by rollerball, which is essentially basketball in this world. As a kid, he gets really inspired by the basketball team within the world and the basketball player known as Jet. And we fast forward 10 years later and we see that he's all grown up and just kind of not living in the best situation. Our main character, Will, is literally just working at a restaurant, playing basketball on the side, and just hoping to really join his favorite team. And we can clearly tell right off the bat that he is really good at rollerball. Our antagonist of the film is a horse named Maine, which is hilarious, and he is like the new up-and-coming basketball player. I'm going to say basketball player because rollerball is just confusing, but the up-and-coming basketball player. Where Jet is obviously the older basketball player, and we kind of have that rivalry within the two teams. And what I like about this is that you could already tell that this movie is going to highlight some of the things that go on like in basketball today, where a lot of sports in general will just push the new guy and forget about the old guy. So as we continue on the film, our main character Go ends up doing almost like a street ball with our new hot basketball player Maine. It's very like modern in the sense of like you could tell like Will is taking this opportunity to, you know what, I'm going to show up and show my skills to this professional basketball player, and they record it, it goes super viral, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's in the league. The one thing I will say when it comes to this movie is that it actually is really fast-paced. It's really nicely paced. It's good, but it's also really fast-paced. So before we know it, we got our main character, Will. He joins the team, and we kind of find out that the basketball team is a little disorganized. And we don't truly understand why they're so disorganized until later on, and it actually all has to do with Jet. Now, of course, I don't want to spoil anything here, but more or less, our main character, Will, ends up building up the team when no one really had any confidence in him whatsoever, and we essentially seen this team get rebuilt. There's some really good moments with Jet and Will who really connect on many different levels, and then we learned a lot of team bonding. So a lot of this movie is very team bonding. Once we start to kind of get to the end of the movie, this is where, to me, it actually got rushed even more. So we're at this final part where it's the final game, who's going to win the big trophy. It's the Thorns versus Magma, I think that's what their name was, and they face off. This entire sequence to me was so fast where I kind of wish they spent a little bit more time kind of building up overall like how that last match was going. But again, it being Sony Animation, just how fast it was going was also nice. So it was kind of like a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. Things that I will really highlight on this is, again, the animation is beautiful. I think everyone in their voice acting roles is phenomenal. Some really good famous people in here as well. The overall pacing, even though it was good and sometimes really fast, was still a really solid story. And I don't think it really deteriorated or made the story hard to follow. Besides the ending feeling like it was rushed, but again, being a Sony animated film, I don't think it was a problem. I just wish the ending game was a little bit longer. The jokes are there within the movie. I laughed a lot. Again, I think every character within this movie did a really, really good job, and I felt connected to almost the entire team of the Thorns. And this is the one movie that I would actually say I think I want to see a sequel, because I think there's a lot of world within the GOAT universe that they could really build on. But of course, the main question is, do I recommend the movie The Goat? And I say absolutely yes. I think it overall is a very fun movie. It's a very family-oriented movie, but there are some good adult jokes in there as well. I mean, I chuckled plenty of times. And it's another Sony animated film that, I'll be honest, that it's just like Sony's doing it, man. Sony Animation is really doing a good job in these last few projects. I think I would easily give this movie an 8 out of 10, maybe even like an 8.5 out of 10. I think The Goat, I highly recommend. I think if you go to watch this film, you're going to very much enjoy it. You don't necessarily have to be a basketball fan to enjoy this film. I think there's enough there within the film to really just enjoy it for a film by itself. Because again, it's a very good journey of someone just following their dreams. And I think that's really the main point of the film. And you can't really go wrong with a film like that. Overall, I do recommend going to see The Goat. If you happen to see it already, let me know down below. As always, remember to like the video. And for everything nerdy, remember to subscribe. Till next time.